Hi guys, it's Paul from It's Just Cricket, and I'm very excited to actually unveil for the first time, effectively launching this, at least via YouTube, is the Ganador Heritage Grade 2 cricket bats from this exciting new brand called Ganador. If you stay tuned to our channel, you'll see more products from this brand coming up soon. They are a new manufacturer of helmets. Yes, quite going to make a splash in the market. We've already got some of their helmets in stock here in our London showroom, soon to be added to our website and YouTube channel, so please do stay tuned for that. But the bats obviously is in addition to the helmets within their range, and I think it's a very nice addition too. They've got a lovely range of bats. As it happens, we only took this particular grade, the Heritage, which like I say is grade 2 English Willow, although you wouldn't think it looking at that face. This, in my opinion, is a classic example of misgrading, which we've talked about on the channel before. It's when, basically, when we disagree with the manufacturer in terms of the grading of a bat. This one has got 16 grains, straight, clean, no real blemishes, well, just a tiny one up there, nothing that affects performance, that one on the edge as well, and a tiny bit of heartwood, but it's where a lot of you want it on the right-hander's outside edge. So stunning looking bat. I've seen a lot of grade 1 plus bats that don't look as nice as this, yet this has only been graded grade 2 and priced accordingly. So classic example of misgrading. I also think the performance on this is exceptionally good, which we'll show later on with the mallet test. A few things to note about the Ganador brand. Firstly, I do like the branding, the stickers here. There's a lot of embossing going on, there's quite a lot of chrome, nice little detailing. Yeah, I think they look really nice. On the front at least, I'm less impressed with them on the back, just because I think they look a little bit busy. It looks nice, you're still getting the embossing, very professional, stylish. I just think a little bit too much of the blade is covered by stickers in my opinion, and this one down at the bottom in particular I don't really like. It tends to bubble up on pretty much all of the bats. It's just not a perfectly flush finish, but I'm really nitpicking there. Who really cares? I mean, obviously you can take these stickers off easily enough if you really want. This one at the top I like, but yeah, perhaps a bit busy, maybe not for everyone. But yeah, as you can see behind me, there's 4 other bats here. This is the range we have in currently. The weight range is £2.9 to £2.12, so they're coming in sort of light to medium weights, but they're all very, very big in size. And I'll demonstrate that with the best example, which is this one here, which is £2.10, so you know, medium weight, yet the edges, it's my Blue Peter moment, here's one I did earlier, as you can see there, nearly 46mm edges, 45.84 to be specific. So absolutely massive, isn't it? Spines are around 63 to 64mm on all of these bats, and the toes are at least 20mm. So you're just getting big specs everywhere. Big, thick, very thick edge, very thick toe, high spine. This one, incidentally, at nearly 46mm edges, is the biggest one we have, but the minimum edge thickness on all of these is 39mm. So they are all very thick. This one, the really big one, as you can see, is fairly heavily concaved. They all are really, to be honest. Well, at least there's a bit of concaving on all of the bats. But this is a classic example where I think the concaving doesn't really matter that much. When your edges are that thick, you're still getting so much wood off centre anyway. So this would probably have more wood off centre than a lot of full profile bats would, simply because the edges are that much thicker than a lot of full profile bats. It's always something to bear in mind. Don't think just because you've seen the concaving there's not much wood off centre. When the edges are this thick, with these flatter faces as well that this one has, all these Ganador bats have, you're always going to get good value. You get a lot of responsiveness and a lot of meat off the centre if you don't quite fight in the middle. I'll move back to this stunning one. I'll do the mallet test for you now. We'll work our way from toe to the base of the stickers first with the mallet and then bounce the ball on it, as always in these videos. What I like about this, not really any dead areas, it's very long middle. It's a low middle, by the way, I should have shown you that. A low middle, great for front foot play. Bit of a duckbill toe on these bats as well, helps to pick up a little bit. And this one, this nice looking one, is the least concaving of the lot that we have. But as you can see, there's still a little bit of concaving there. But we'll do the ball test. Despite that low middle, still good up high. high now to demonstrate that. Down low. Quite a few ceiling shots there, it's always good to see. These bats do need quite a lot of knocking in. Slight criticism is that the finishing, in my opinion, isn't quite the best. The edges are quite sharp, some of them look a little bit dry. They are of course made in India for all of these bats. On this one in particular, the edges are quite sharp there. It takes a little bit longer during knocking in. I've got to be a bit more careful, but it's just something to be wary of. But yeah, just a couple of coats of oil and a good knocking in job, which of course we can provide if you were to get any of these bats, you know, solves that problem. And you know, just more of an observation really. The handles are medium to thick, I would say. They're not thin, and they're round at the bottom. So quite interesting. You don't seem to get that many round handle bats on the market nowadays. There's a lot of brands that are doing the semi-oval and of course oval handles, but if you're a bottom-handed player and you like to involve that wrist a lot in your stroke play and use that bottom hand a lot, you'd welcome this round handle. This makes it easier to work that bottom hand in, so it's nice to see a bat that's a bit more accommodating to that kind of player. You've got the ripple grip, which I like the texture of, and the good quality grips and nice matching red and black colour, and of course the red toe guard fitted as standard, but a natural finish with no anti-scuff sheet. You might want to add a sheet if you were to get the bat. The bow is also quite significant on these bats, as you can see there. Quite an exaggerated bow, helps the pickup, helps to clear the infield as well with some lofted drives to play over the top. That pickup incidentally is fairly light. It's not the lightest, I wouldn't say it's a feather light pickup, but they feel slightly lighter than they are, maybe about ½ ounce lighter than they are, pretty well balanced. You know, when bats are this big with a low middle, you wouldn't necessarily expect them to pick up really light anyway, but things like the concaving the bow, that does help a little bit, something to bear in mind. In terms of price, guys, we're selling these bats for £239.99. I believe we're currently the only shop in the world that are selling them. So please do come down to our London showroom if you want to have a look at these bats in the flesh, or you can order them online. We'll ship them anywhere in the world. They don't come with a back cover or anything like that, but you wouldn't necessarily expect them to. Remember, grade 2 English willow, you're getting 16 stunning grains on this one. If you looked at the other bats, you'll see a lot of them are nice and clean as well. A couple of little blemishes, but nothing major, and they're all sort of 8, 9, 10 grains, that kind of thing, which for a grade 2 bat is very impressive in my opinion. There are other bats in the Ganador range, but when I visited them a couple of weeks ago, I only really went for this grade. Perhaps in the future, subject to demand, we can of course source more, but the helmets is the main thing that's coming up soon from them, so do look out for those on the channel, like I said. But yeah, I am impressed with these as a grade 2 offering. Like I say, it's classic misgrading, at least this particular one. You're getting huge bats, 46mm edges plus 40mm on most of the others. So it's great if you're an aggressive player, you know, wanting to clear the ropes. You're getting that low middle, good for front foot play, good for slow pitches. So yeah, very nice option there, guys. Quite excited to be the first to show you this brand Ganador. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.